Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this return button portable wireless CarPlay and Android Auto screen with Dashcam. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. So here we have the device and we have the accessories. This is a suction cup mount, power adapter. This outputs 5 volts at 3 amps. We have an audio adapter. This is a backup camera. And this is a self-adhesive dash mount. And we also have a trim tool and a 64 gigabit micro SD card. And here's the manual. So if you don't quite understand what this is a screen you put in your car to extend the multimedia capabilities. So if you have a modern car, it might come with Android Auto or CarPlay, but if you have an older car and don't have that capability, you could replace the whole stereo, but that can be a lot of work, and you might have a good stereo in there already. With this you can add CarPlay and Android Auto to your existing stereo. Now this has a couple of different ways to hook it up. If you have an auxiliary input on your stereo, you can hook it up with this cable. That's probably your best option. This could also connect to your car with Bluetooth, and if you don't have either of those, this has an FM transmitter that you can set to a blank station and transmit it to your car stereo. So let's take a quick look at the manual. So this has 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, supports Bluetooth 5.0. You can power it with your 12 volt socket, or you could wire it directly into your car. This shows the main interface. This talks about the dash cam, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, FM transmitter. This talks about settings, and this is a description of a lot of the settings here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this. So it has a wide screen. We have some protective film on it. I'll leave that on for just a minute. We have a power button on the top, speakers in the back. So this does have speakers in it. So if you put this in a vehicle that doesn't have a good speaker system, or even just want to test it, you can use those internal speakers. And here we have that camera. On the side here, we have the USB Type-C input, AV in, micro SD card, and 3.5 in. I think that's all the ports. So we have two mounting options. We have this plate here. Comes with self-adhesive pad. It looks like there's also screw holes. So if you have a surface you can screw to, you could use this. Like some RVs and such will have like a wood plate, and then that can mount on here. And then the other way to mount this is with the suction cup mount. So this is going to be probably tacky. Yep. So you can suction that to your dash or windshield. Then this will adjust here. And then this can slide out. And then we have that pry tool in case you need to pry some trim away to mount some wires. So this is going to be the backup camera. It's got an interface on it, which is on this cable. So those can plug in together. And that goes into the AV here. So that AV in is for the backup camera. And then the red cable, I'm guessing maybe goes to power. So that might go to say like the reverse lights. So I'm going to power this up on my bench using a 12 volt power supply, but I will take it out to my car in a little bit. So the power cord is a few inches under 5 foot. This does have a USB port on the end for things like charging your phone, because you may already have a charger in your 12 volt port. So I'll plug in here, and I'll plug into the USB on the back here. Okay, so I gave this power, it powered up automatically. I'm going to go turn the lights off because I have glare in here. Okay, so here we have the interface. On the left we have the speaker, we have brightness, and this bottom button will turn the screen off. So if you're distracted you can tap that and it'll go blank. Let's check the brightness level. So we can go all the way down or up. Then we have mobile link. This is for connecting CarPlay, Android Auto. We also have AirPlay, Android Mirror, music, and this e-look. Then we have Bluetooth, audio out, so we can have the speaker, FM, and here we can change the station we want to transmit on. We have auxiliary and Bluetooth. We have the dash cam here. We have the record, take a picture, lock, microphone. That's probably switching screens maybe. Home. We have replay and settings. So you can see all of the settings here. There's lots of configurability on this. Let's go back. So I just recorded a clip there. I'm not sure how good the picture was, but I've tuned it in so you can see the color relatively accurate, so you can see how nice the screen looks. Now I need to switch phones because I'm recording with the phone I want to connect to this with. So I'll cut to that. Okay, so let's get this connected to my phone. So I'll tap on Mobile Link on my phone. I'll go to General, CarPlay, and I'll look for other cars. And it has the equipment name here. I'll tap on that. So here I have Apple CarPlay. It's currently showing a map. I can do things like open up music. So here we have the Amazon Music interface. I can go to settings. If I click down below, we have other apps. So here I have Google Maps, Organic Maps, Libby, Pandora. So Libby is a library thing, so that would have audiobooks. We have YouTube Music and VLC. So I just wanted to do an overview on my bench here. So now let's head to my car so I can do some more testing there. Before we head out, I want to show the camera real quick. So here we have the camera. I need to take the plastic off of there. But this is the front-facing camera, and here we have the rear camera. So if I tap on the screen and tap these arrows, it switches to the rear camera. If we tap it again, we have split screen. So we have the front on the left and rear on the right. Okay, so I have this set up in my car, and I just taped it to the dash temporarily. I'm not sure if I'm going to install it in here, but this is a good idea anyway, because I could tape it down here and find out if this is the position I want or if I want to put it somewhere else. And this is pretty sturdy. This is decent tape, but you need to use your own judgment and make sure it's not going to come off the dash. Or if you know where it's at, you could use the permanent tape right away. So I've also hooked up the backup camera. I'll show where that is. So I have a lift gate in this vehicle, and I just taped it here, and I could install this with some screws. And this is on the door. I could potentially screw it in here and run the wire back here. I have the wire tucked in a little bit, but it's mostly hanging down here. For permanent installation, I tuck this in all the way, and this red wire could be extended down, and it could be wired into the reverse light over here. So let's take a look at the reverse camera. I'll tap over to the right and I'll hit home, and I'll go to recorder. Now this is recording automatically. I've muted it, and you can see I have the front and rear cameras showing. Let's just show the rear camera. Well, here's the front, and here's the rear camera. So it's recording both. Now if I had that reverse light hooked up, it would show lines on here to help guide me. Now if I click over to the right, it takes me back to CarPlay, and I've made this full screen in the settings. Let me show where I did that. So I went to setting, CarPlay position, and I said full screen. So you can do left, right, or full screen. Now when I had it on left, right, when we looked at it earlier, it was blank on the side there. And when I had it all hooked up, that was showing the dash cam. So that was showing this here. I don't think it can show the rear. I think it can only show the front. Now, this camera here can lift up if you want to reposition it. And I think there are 2 layers of plastic on there. So make sure you have all the plastic peeled off. And I do still have the plastic on this screen. I'll just leave it there for now. So I'll go back to home screen. Now, if I want to play this, I can hit replay. Okay, it says disconnect the mobile phone first. So I'll do that later. So when I'm driving, I'll probably have it in this mode with my map here and my music over here. So I'm going to take this on a little drive and capture some dash cam footage, and then I'll splice that into the video. Now I'm not sure how much footage I can get for privacy reasons. I may have to blur some things out, but I'll do the best I can. Okay, so I'm back from my drive, and if you want to view the videos, you'll go into replay, and you'll have to disconnect from CarPlay. So to do that, you can go into airplane mode, but I'm just going to turn this off and take the SD card out and put it in my computer, so I can watch and sort through them on there. So that was the return button, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto display screen with dash camera. So I don't think I mentioned the car that I'm in is a 2000 Land Cruiser. And this is the radio that came in it. It's actually very advanced for its time. It has 6-disc changer and cassette player. But by modern standards, it's very old, but it sounds very good still. So a device like this can allow you to have a modern upgrade to an older car like this without having to replace the stereo. It's really nice to have your map and your music up here on the screen where you can easily access it and see it. And as a bonus, you also have the built-in dash cam and backup camera. I like how nice this screen looks. I also like that it's wider and lower, so when I'm sitting I can easily sit over it. Right now it looks like it's covering up a lot. That's the angle of my camera, but when I'm sitting in my seat I can see over the top. The interface was very easy to use, has lots of configurability, and it also came with 2 different mounting options. It has this base here and the suction cup, so you can fit it to different vehicles. So this is mostly made to go on the dash or on your windshield, but there may be vehicles where you'll mount this lower and you just won't use the dash cam. But when you do have it mounted on your dash, it's nice having that dash cam there built right into it. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.